Good morning, guys. It's March 4th. Out here in Long Island, we got hit with some fairly heavy snow last night. It's kind of wet. It's melting down now. Today I'm going to give you an idea of what I believe is the best way to propagate your fig cuttings, your Scions. Okay, these plants that you're looking at now were actually started last year at the end of October. These are red Sicilian variety. And it took a long time for them to get this far. I'm not very happy with them, but at the same time, it was a learning proposition. These leaves have a mosaic virus. They have mites. So I keep them away from everything else that I'm doing now because this is basically a new hobby. For me, fig trees have been in my family for generations, since I was a little kid. And I've been propagating them with quite a few varieties, over 12 varieties actually. So let me show you a few things that I'm at right now. Some of these are growing, some I've grafted, some have been little trees. Those are cuttings from a blueberry bush. And here are my tomatoes. They're doing very well. And I have the natural light. As you can see outdoors, it's white. Yeah, lots of snow. Okay, so let me get back to the figs and show you exactly what I think is the best way. These took such a long time, it didn't work out for me. They are growing, but they are growing very slow. I tried the cup method with my cuttings, and I found that quite a few of them got rotted at the bottom where the roots should have started. And so I actually took them out a couple of months later, cut them, renewed them, gave them new life, and I put them in my bin and I started the fig pops. They're called fig pops. I'll show you those in a little while. But back to these were started in a lasagna pan. Okay, it was the lasagna method, and then it went into these plastic bottles that I cut down. All right, so what I want to show you is that I took these black Madeiras that came from Texas. I hope they're black Madeiras. I'm not sure. So at the same time, I started them in the lasagna method. Okay, so when I get down a little closer, you will see a little bit of growth here, and understand that it's been in this lasagna pan for about 1 month. Okay, about a week ago, I went inside and I took one of the pieces out, just like I'm doing now, to check them. They're not doing very much. Some of them do have roots growing. Some of them are doing absolutely nothing. So I may come back here. See, like this one? This one has some root form. So, I don't know. I'm thinking of leaving them for now. Putting them back. Okay. Letting them do their thing. It's nice and warm here because it sits on the floor where I have the HVAC in the basement, right underneath the floorboards. Anyway, okay, so that's as far as that's gone for 1 month. And at the same time, I took the same cuttings that I received and I made fig pops. Let me show you the fig pops, okay? They're in the bin. What I do with the bin, I keep them sealed at night, and then during the day I open them up because I want them to get a feel of some of the dry air as well as some of the humid air. Kind of like being outdoors to an extent. All right, so these here on the left are my fig pops. The same variety that I have in the lasagna pan that I showed you, okay? So let me show you. Same amount of time. Okay, so take a look at the roots here. Take a look at the roots. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Compare that to what's going on in that lasagna pan. Big difference, okay? And it's not just one. That's a different one. Starting to get a lot of action here. As you can see, the root system right here. Same exact one. Some are more advanced than others, but for the most part, they're doing much better. And what's great about this, as you can see, here's another one. What's great about these is that there's nothing to do with them. You just leave them in there for a while, maybe a few months. And here's another one. As you can see, they're growing very well. So my observation is that fig pops is the way to go. Less work, no maintenance, you just leave them. You can check them every once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the way to go as far as I'm concerned. So if someone asks me which is the best way to propagate figs, fig scions, cuttings, you gotta go with the fig pop method. So this is one way to do the fig pop method. Here is a scion, a cutting, and you want to make sure that the cutting and the nodes are facing upward. As you can see, they're all facing upward. That tells me this is the top, okay? What I like to do with this is to spray it with a 4 to 1 part hydrogen peroxide to kill anything, any bugs, any gnats, or what have you. Just give it a quick spray, then I wipe it down, clean it off. Okay, now you need to score the bottom. There are those who don't score it, don't do much of anything to it. I like to score the bottom a little bit, get down to the white, to the green, and it has to be green. If it's not green, guess what? It's dead. So get down there a little bit, you can score it. Be careful, you have a sharp knife. You just want to score it. Yeah, so you could start feeding it. All right, so that's one thing that I do. The next thing I do is I take my rooting hormone. It's a powder. You can buy that at Home Depot or anywhere. There's a Clonex, I believe that's the name of it. Clonex, it's a liquid form. I use this, it works very well for me. And basically all I do is just stick it in there, shake some of it off, okay? Now that's ready for the fig pop. Here is the fig pop. What this consists of is perlite, peat moss, and I put a little sawdust in there. It's kind of large sawdust because I was using a chainsaw out in the back, and it aerates it. So now what I want to do with this, what you need to do, it needs to be a little moist. So I'm just going to show you quickly. I just spray inside a few sprays on both sides. You can pre-moist this outside of the bag, but I'm only doing this as a demonstration so you understand how it works. Okay, that's basically it as far as the water content. Kind of mix it up a little bit, get that rocking and rolling, mix it up nicely, and that's it. So now it's ready. Okay, so here we go. Just stick it in there like this. Fill it up. Get that dirt down on it. All right. Now, how to keep it together? Well, what you want to do is you want to push that dirt down to make it a tight little bundle. Okay, just like that. And you can tie it together, you can tape it together, whatever works for you best, but it needs to be tight. So you come around with the rubber band. In this case, I'm using a rubber band. Just like that. That holds it. And you take it to the bottom to keep it all together. And that's it with the fig pop. Okay? The previous ones that I have done, I did not have rubber bands. I kind of tied them together. But I made sure that it was nice and tight. This is as far as you need to go with it. And after that, you basically put it in a bin, in a place where it's warm. And I guess in about a month and a half, you'll probably have a nice little root ball there. Okay, so let me show you after a month, 5 weeks I would say probably. This is what I have. See the growth? I'm not too concerned about the growth on the top. I'm concerned about the root. The root here also. These are all the same variety. I've shown you already. Okay. This is it. This is what it's all about. Great way to propagate your figs. And it works very well for me. One thing I may have forgotten to tell you is that after you're done tying it all up, you need to poke about a dozen holes into it all the way around because it needs to aerate. Otherwise, it might get all moldy. Just poke it holes all the way around, at least a dozen holes, and that's it. Okay? Well, thank you for watching. If you like my video, please subscribe or comment below if you have anything to say about it. God bless. Have a great day, guys.